Welcome to the ultimate track guide to Castle Combe Circuit in the UK. This is a super fast circuit, been around for a lot of years, and I got some expert tuition from a chap called Larry Jerram Croft, and following that I did a lot of laps, and I'm now creating this guide to help you, as I got helped, to drive this circuit fast, effectively, and don't end up in the barriers. So what we've got is a slow lap. We're in a procession, a parade, and I can talk you through that. And then we've got a couple of fast laps, so you can see what it's like at speed. Here's the track then. Starting at the top is the start finish straight. First corner is Folly, a slight right. Avon Rise, tricky. The car goes light, then round Quarry on the right hand side, down to the S's, round Old Paddock, down to Gooch's at the bottom, and then up through the chicane Bobby's, and then last corner up near the top there, Camp, back onto the start finish straight. 1.85 miles, really fast track. So here we go on the parade lap then. So this is the last corner, we're just going around onto the start finish straight. And here you are basically staying relatively left. I'm only doing this lap slowly in this parade, but I'm trying to show you the line as well as I can at low speed. So here we come up to Folly. So just a quick reminder of where that is. So this is at the top of the circuit here, top of the circuit diagram, Folly. And so here you sort of straight line it now, cutting across. You'll see on this track day, there's some blue cones where the apex is. On this particular lap, we're not very close, obviously, because we're going so slow. But the blue cone is the apex, and the red cone is your turn-in point to help people. So you're staying right here now, you're letting the car drift right, and this is Avon Rise. So here you've got to get all your braking done before, so on the diagram here you see Avon Rise. You want to get the braking done as you come to the rise. Here's the red cone for turning, off the brakes, and then left to the apex. Look for the blue cone here, apex there, bang on this one. And then we've got Quarry, which is a really tricky corner to get right. It's a long corner with a really late sort of apex, bit of a double apex. There's the cone. And once you've hit that, then drifting out. There's a big long curve here, but just let the car drift out, which it will do naturally. Now we're approaching the S's. So again, staying left here. And just to remind you, we'll just stick the map back up. So we've done round Quarry on the top right. Now we're down to the S's, halfway down. So here's the turning cone, the red cone. We turn in. Now, because I'm going slow, I've not taken much curb, and you don't need to wave to the photographer, by the way, when you're driving. Probably better to get your hands on the wheel. So I've not taken so much curb there, but you'll see on the faster runs I do. This is pretty critical. Old Paddock, staying out here, staying out quite a way out, sort of mid-track, and then cutting into the apex at Old Paddock. Okay, and then again the car naturally drifts left, but you can hook it over a little bit to the right, maybe not quite as much as I've done here, because again it helps you just straight line this corner. So we're down now at Gooch's, heading down towards Gooch's, and this is a really fast part of the circuit when you're running. So it's very heavy braking zone, and you need to get that right, because there's not much runoff. So it's a right-hander, so you're heavy braking, off the brakes, turn in, late apex, look for that blue cone. There it is, late. Get that, and then let the car naturally drift left. I'm coming up to Bobby's, which is a little chicane. And again, turn in. In the dry, you can take plenty of curb here. It's not too rough, and there's plenty of grip. In the wet, I'd probably stay off the majority of that curb. So here you can stay a little bit right. I'm a bit middle of nowhere here, but you'll see where I am on the faster laps. And then as you come up, the car naturally is drifting left, and stay left because the last corner camp is basically a right-hander. So you're going to go over the pit lane exit there. That's the yellow line, pit lane exit. So you can see that up on the left-hand side of the plan now. And we're coming up to camp. So this is a bit blind actually. As you come along here, you can't really see where the apex is. There's the turning cone. Don't go right over the curbs. It's very rough on the inside, but you can take the first part of the red and white there, and that's it, back onto the straight. So here's the fast one. So down the start, finish straight. So we drift over onto the right there, and then again, keeping the car right, heading for Avon Rise, and heavy brakes, off the brakes, turn in. There's the apex. Then this is the tricky, never-ending quarry. Looking for that cone, there it is, and then let the car drift out left. Obviously I've got a bit of a complication of another car here, so slow down a little bit. And then the S's, so cutting in, plenty of curb when it's dry. Now this is where you need to get out left a little bit for paddock, and then cut in nicely. I'm just taking this car now. And then again, cutting left here, down towards Gooch's, very fast, hard on the brakes, off the brakes, turn in, late apex, look for that cone, there it is, drifting out, Bobby's chicane. That was a bit late on the turn in there, a little bit of curb there, you can go right out there, and tighten on the right, and then let the car drift. Up towards camp, past the pit lane, up towards camp, turn in, there it is, and back onto the start finish. Now if we just zoom back to the S's a little way, we'll see what is a problem line potentially. So this bit's pretty good, so we've got plenty of curb on those. Instead of drifting out left now to take old paddock, I've stayed right and stayed tight. So there's that apex. I'm struggling to hit the apex, and oh my goodness, off the track. So carrying too much speed and not giving myself the right line, problematic. So here's the last run then. So plenty of speed, and you can just follow what happens here. A few other cars on track, but staying nice and right, heavy braking, turn in. Never-ending quarry, there's the apex, let it drift out left. Braking for the S's, turn in. Plenty of curb. Now this time stay out left a little way to allow you to slice into that apex and not run out of road, hooray. There's the turn in, down to Gooch's, and heavy braking, and then late apex, there it is, let the car drift out left, and Bobby's, plenty of curb, drift out a little bit there, that's fine, staying in. And then here you generally stay left, obviously just taking someone there, but and then coming up for camp, the last corner. And there we go. So that is your ultimate guide to Castle Combe, a fantastic circuit, really enjoyable drive, really rewarding when you get it right. You really feel hooked up. And, you know, I think hopefully this guide will help you to get that as good as you can get it. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Plenty more racing videos, track day videos, and basically everything I find as I learn to be a racing driver I'm putting on YouTube. So please subscribe and enjoy.